guys have been giving me a lot of great questions in the comments, and I appreciate that. Recently, Chris Angelo asked how you could limit a salesperson to only seeing their contacts, which I think is actually a really great use case for a lot of you, showing you how to limit what people see, how to adjust groups, and do it in the simplest way possible. So that's what we're going to run through today. So let's start with the first piece. We want to create a view that's limited so that only the contacts that belong to the current user, or they're the salesperson, are seen. So that's not going to work for this. We don't want to edit this view right here. We're going to want to create a new menu for this. So we're going to borrow other people's work so that we know that it's going to work. We're going to duplicate this tab, come out, and then type window actions. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that we're going to use the domain value here and the context value to get what we want. The variable that's in the system that we can pull at any time is called UID. So we're going to make sure that our domain has UID in it. So we're going to type domain, and we're going to say contains, and say UID here. Okay, so these are some window actions where we're using UID. So we've got my time off. This is actually a great way for us to limit this. So looking at user ID equals UID for the domain value, that's great. If we come into here and look at AKA Foster and go to sales and purchase, the salesperson also happens to be the user ID. So we can actually copy this directly for our new menu item. We're also going to want to set the default for user ID to be the UID. So we're going to set that in context as well. So let's go back to this view here, go to Studio, we're going to go to Edit Menu, we're going to add a new menu item, and we're going to call this My Contacts. It's going to be an existing model, and it's going to be Contact. Okay, so go ahead and confirm that, confirm, so it comes up and shows up, and then we're going to go to Edit Menu, go to My Contacts, come in here and go to the window action by clicking this button, and then we're going to set our domain and our context value. So once again, our domain is going to be the exact same as this one. Okay. Make sure and clean that up. And then our context value, we're just going to grab this and we'll clean it up real quick. So we want, oop, that didn't copy. Let's grab that one more time. Okay. So we want this to be default underscore user underscore ID, and we want it to be the UID, meaning the current logged in user. Go ahead and save that, save and close, confirm, and then let's go out and test this guy. So to make this easier for testing, I'm going to duplicate this tab, I'm going to close out, we'll go out to contacts, go to my contacts. So far so good. I'm only seeing contacts that are tied to me specifically, Mitchell Admin, the currently logged in user. Also, when I go to create a new contact, we can see that it defaults to me as the salesperson, which is exactly what we want. So we've got our new view that limits what people can see, but we need to take it back another step and make it so that all internal users aren't automatically seeing all of the contacts. So what we're really trying to take away is this menu item. So if we go to Studio and we go to Edit Menu and we look at contacts, this isn't currently limited to any group. Now here's the interesting thing about ODOO is if this isn't limited, it inherits the view rights from the menu above. But if we add a group right here to say you have to be part of this group to see this or part of one of these groups to see it, then anyone that's not part of those groups can no longer see it. Now, if that was too muddy for you, I'm sorry. I'm going to show you how this works. So what we're going to do here is add a line, okay? And we're going to set this as a new group. We're going to set it as technical, okay, for the application. And then we're going to say view all contacts here, okay? We're going to save and close, confirm, and then let's duplicate this tab to test it. So closing out, we can see that when we come back into contacts, I can't see all the contacts anymore. I can still see configuration, but that's because I belong to other groups. So real quick, to bring this full circle, I'm going to create a test user to show you exactly what a salesperson would see. Okay, so I've created my test user and I've logged in. Now for the moment of truth. So we go into contacts and we can see and I added these guys under the test user, they can only see their own contacts where they are the salesperson. You see that? And if we create a new contact here, so we're going to say test contact, it does default to test man. If we save that, come back out to my contacts, now we can see all three of these. So we were successful. And just to help you guys feel entirely comfortable coming back to my own account, I can still see all of the contacts because I belong to the group that we created. Not too bad, huh? And now you can create other menu items that make it so that people can only see the records that you want them to see. It's pretty dang useful. As always, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below, or if you need a bit more time, the link to my Calendly is in the description and you can schedule time with me there. As always, thanks again for tuning in. It means the world to me. I hope this was useful to you, and we'll see you again soon.